Maverick, represents the men of my childhood. You know, uh, a mentor friend of mine used to say there was a time when boats were made of steel, where boats were made of wood and men were made of steel. And so I think that Maverick harkens back to that time. What I love about Mav is that he's honest. He doesn't sugarcoat things. I mean, he understands that his kids are young and they deserve and need to be children, but he also realizes that you have to give kids, and more specifically in kids of color, black kids, you have to give them the truth. I think Mav realizes that it's better that I be proactive as a parent and sort of bring you along slowly and just let you know that, these are some of the benchmarks that of information that you're gonna have to have and understand and know so that you're prepared. Strong fathers do exist in this country and in this world. And again, more specifically, strong black fathers do exist. I know them. And so it's not often seen on screen. And I think it is important to show, again, that we love, that we have compassion, that we honor our children, but we honor our wives, that we love them, and that we're men of integrity and truth, and all these, and dignity, and all these things. And so again, it's who we are. So I think what the movie does, and I think what the characters do, is it helps the audience understand, who we are.
After having read the script and and the book, I thought the subject matter was so powerful and timely. The fact that we're still having this discussion, still, I mean, generation after generation, decade after decade, and the issue is still as relevant today as it was, 40, 50, 60 years ago. I think this issue is important for our society to address. I think, collectively we all play a part, and unless we all, as human beings take responsibility for some of the irresponsible actions, that occur, and the victimization that occurs and racial profiling, then we all have a voice to say, that this isn't right. And I think she really wants to create a better future than she had for her children, and she's conscious of, making sure that Starr, as a young, black female, doesn't make the same mistakes that she did, and that her sons don't get involved in the lifestyle that Maverick had. And so, they try to make the sacrifices in them to better schools so that they can have a bright future. But, Lisa's happy. She has a beautiful marriage, a brother who's a police officer, and, her family unit is really strong. Starr's been taught since a young girl, you know what I mean, to have a certain reverence and, fear of the cops. And she learned that from Maverick, who taught her and the boys. And in the situation, she's already very uncomfortable when the police officer pulls them over. But unfortunately, Khalil is innocently shot and killed. There's the pressure from, the black people who are tired of it, for her to stand up, to get this officer arrested. There's the pressure from what has happened to her as a child with her friend Natasha, and witnessing something where she's trying to really reach within and find, the courage to speak. And then, she has the pressure from Lisa to say, don't, you don't need to bear this. And then Maverick saying, don't ever be afraid. So there's she's got a lot of things coming. And so it just changes, where Maverick and I agree, where we disagree, about where we live, about what's next, about what's priority, is it our neighborhood and our blackness, or our family? Mav comes from the streets, so he's not afraid of King. He doesn't have that fear that maybe the young guys do. He's definitely not going to touch my family. And I think that's what's so enticing about Maverick as a character, that you see this guy that has all this street credibility, but he's kind of come out on the other side. And, but he's also not afraid of anything, but he's also aware of everything. When they were young, I think King had some charges already, and so when he gets in trouble, Mav kind of takes the rap, and that's actually how he gets out of the gang. It's kind of like one of those organizations, as we'll call it for now, that you join for life. So there's also a part of King that loves the life that Maverick gets to lead, that loves that he has a family, that loves that he doesn't have to, that he can make a living and have the joy that, without that kind of street hustle.
Hey, Vale here with an added bonus to this video. Now, just like me, I'm sure you love movies, and I've got some pretty interesting movie budget facts, if I do say so myself. Did you know that the movie Gravity was more expensive than the Indian Mars mission? Yes. Paranormal Activity cost less than $15,000 to make, but crossed over $193 million. The production of Disney's film Tangled was more expensive than Avatar's production. Best Picture Oscar winner Moonlight was made for only $1.5 million. There hasn't been a Best Picture winner with a budget that low since Rocky. Napoleon Dynamite had a budget of only $400,000, and John Heder was paid only $1,000 for his role as Napoleon. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides officially holds the record for the most expensive movie ever made, with a budget of $378.5 million. Okay, so if you want to watch more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you receive the videos the moment they are online. Bye bye!